And now, to bring our knowledge sessions to a powerful close, I am excited to welcome Siddharth Bhat, Chief Technology Officer at Religare Broking, in conversation with Aratrika Talukdar from Express Computer. Siddharth will explore how next generation trading platforms are leveraging AI and ML to enable real time decision making, helping investors act fast, smarter, and with great confidence. Over to you, Siddharth and Aratrika.
Hello and welcome to the exciting session where we have Mr. Siddharth Bhat, who is the CTO of Religare Broking Limited, and I am Aratrika Talukdar, Senior Correspondent with Express Computer. And we are very excited to start the conversation here, the first edition of Elevate AI Summit. Very warm welcome to you, Siddharth. Thank you so much for taking out time and joining us today. I'm sure with your experience and knowledge, our audience will have a good flow of knowledgeable insights throughout the session. So to begin with, now everyone is talking about AI ML and how it's transforming the way of modern trading platforms as well. So let's start with the big picture. How AI and ML are transforming the way modern trading platforms make real-time decisions. If you can, enlighten us on this.
Sure. So AI ML platforms are always working on a significantly huge amount of data, and they are able to process data and use them for predictions, for analyzing patterns, etc., which is very difficult for humans to do basis that quantum of information. Right? And because of that, the abilities of these systems have been growing very consistently in the last few years. And we can see this in the trends also in the market, where we can see that the level of trading through these kind of platforms is increasing very steadily and consistently. So what we have seen is that over the last few years and as of this year, there's almost 50 to 60% of the trading which is happening in the exchanges is through algo trading platforms which rely on AI ML models significantly. And so that's the trend that we are seeing in terms of AI ML getting used, and I can see that that will transform the way that trading is going to happen in the future.
Absolutely. And it's very interesting to see the use cases also. We are also seeing sentiment analysis become a key part of trading strategies. So how are platforms turning news and social media signals into actionable insights? If you can give us a small overview.
Yeah, so see, availability of news has not been a problem earlier as well. We always used to get news. The issue or the ability to use that news at almost real time was not there with us. We were not able to use that information real time. Now, with the new systems coming in, with LLMs being able to pick up information and comprehend that information almost at real time, has made a significant change in the way that we are looking at this information. Now we are able to use this information at almost real time. So we can listen to social media handles. For example, if there is a lot of negative sentiments related to a script, that can be picked up by these models, and our strategies can then get tuned at almost real time as to how the execution has to happen. Earlier, this was not possible, and even the ability to really comprehend the sentiments in the market was not very available or prevalent in the market. Even in the case where now these models can listen to even the traditional channels, so the news feeds can be analyzed. Traditional news, which are even vlogs or blogs which are being put up, any news that's related to macroeconomics or political news, which can impact the strategies that we have put out into the market, those can be picked up almost at real time by these models, and our strategies can be changed almost at real time now.
That's very interesting. Now, in today's time, we always, talk about the future focus areas, or we all do a little crystal ball gazing for the future. So, similarly, predictive analytics is often called the crystal ball of trading. So, how close are we to truly anticipating the market moves, or what's making it that possible?
So I think as of now, we should be a little cautious in terms of calling it a crystal ball. While predictive analytics has really made significant strides, labeling them as a labeling it as a crystal ball, we should be a little careful. A lot of the retail investors get very bought in by these kind of labels. But having said that, uh, so predictive analytics, like it's an AIML model, it goes and churns a significant amount of data. It understands the trends and then does iterative learning, right? And the good part of it and the best part of it is that there's a lot of back testing which is done. So these models, what they do is they are able to simulate. So if you're thinking of a strategy, they can simulate that strategy by doing backtesting on historical market data and seeing whether those strategies are actually giving the output which is desired. And if they don't, they can also do a self correction in a sense. So in that sense, it sounds extremely good, but one has to tread with caution. It has a lot of potential, especially since there's a lot of back testing which is done, and it can be a very useful tool.
Absolutely. And now, technologies like agentic AI, autonomous AI, these are coming in place. And similarly, platforms are also getting more autonomous. So, in this transformation, how do you strike the right balance between AI-driven automation and human intuition, especially in high-stake trading?
And that's a very good question. I don't think we should take the element of human intuition out of the equation. There will be a lot of cases when there are complex events happening in our environment which the machines may not be able to understand how to handle. And in such cases, the human experience, the human intuition will be very important to deal with such situations and take decisions. So therefore, it's essential that we have a concept of, especially in high stakes trading, there has to be a concept of keeping a human in the loop. So most of the organizations should actually evaluate their maturity, the kind of skills that they have within the organizations, and kind of strategize uh, how they want to go about it. So, for example, whenever it is low risk and high volume trading, you can keep it autonomous. But if there is a high risk and a high stake trade, it is always advisable to keep a human in the loop, especially because you need to know on what basis the decision is being taken when the stakes are very high.
Absolutely. So, dynamic intelligence or real-time intelligence needs serious tech muscle. So, what's happening behind the scenes to support these kind of speed, scale, and accuracy that AI demands in this space?
So I think the development of AIML and these high powered machines and the public cloud has all come in at almost the same time. I don't think it's going to be possible in a traditional sense, or having a traditional infrastructure of your own to be able to run uh, these models, um, and therefore utilizing public clouds like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud And now they have also started coming up with very specific um, tools. So you have a lot of serverless architecture. The example is AWS has SageMaker, Azure has Azure ML, Google has Vertex AI. So all of these where you are able to kind of focus on your business and use these tools which are completely like a managed service, leverage on the kind of infrastructure and leverage on the stability and robustness and scalability of these systems is very crucial. So basically that's what I think the way that things are going, that you use the serverless architecture and the native uh, functions of the cloud. And as business, you should focus on what you want to deliver from a business perspective.
Absolutely. So, I would like to also understand, that while AI making critical financial calls, how are you ensuring transparency and build trust around these models to operate? And also, if you can mention about the security or compliance part a little bit, because um, um, it's also dealing with so much customer data and how much we are using ethical AI and the compliance products.
True. So it's always important to know how a decision is reached, right? And so if there are strategies which get executed without really knowing how an AI has decided or why the AI has decided to execute which strategy when and what for what reason, then it gets into a gray area. And I don't think we should be comfortable with that kind of a situation. In today's day and age, most a lot of the models now have started coming up with interpretability, which means that um, in natural language, these models actually give out a human understandable rationale as to why the model has come to a certain conclusion, and how, basis what, basis which data point, basis which information the model has come to that decision. So that makes it a lot more transparent, and therefore it's important to keep humans in the loop from a decision perspective, because then the transparency also increases. You have interpretability, you have a human who has seen it and then taken the final decision. Uh, and it's especially important because bias is always possible in these models. It all depends on the kind of data that you're given, that you're fed into these models. And therefore, these steps and this interpretability is a very important aspect. Along with that, I think it's also important that the regulatory framework get crystallized. There have to be norms which these trading platforms should follow, because it's important to safeguard the interests of the investors, since AI systems can execute at extremely high speeds and the stakes can be very high. One should be very cautious uh, going forward.
Clearly. Finally, looking to the horizon, how do you see, technologies like generative AI or LLMs reshaping future of trading as we know it? Or if you feel like any other technologies that's going to revolutionize this industry?
Yeah, I think that there's a combination of multiple things converging together right now. See, algo trading was mostly using ML earlier, and now with the LLMs coming in, there is a movement towards a, doing a combination of fundamental analysis and technical analysis and creating models basis both. So you will use LLMs for doing your fundamental analysis by looking at uh, the balance sheet, uh, the market results, macroeconomics, political announcements, etc., where LLMs are very good at being able to extract that information and make sense out of it. And you have the traditional machine learning, which has been used earlier for creating strategies and models for execution. So being able to combine the both, earlier they used to be two different worlds. Now I think there's a movement towards the convergence of these two worlds, and creating solutions and models which will execute taking inputs from both these models. Um, so there, that will be a very interesting change which we will see, which will be coming in. And what I'm also seeing is that trading is now reaching the masses, and in India also we are seeing a significant amount of interest which is coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities. And because the derivatives market has also become very popular, I'm sure um, we will see a significant amount of volumes which will start coming in from the retail segment. We are seeing a significant amount of demand for APIs. So APIs are getting democratized, where we are seeing players who are asking just for APIs, and they want to create strategies and models of their own and execute. So it's a very, very interesting and dynamic time right now. And I'm sure that we will see a significant amount of volume slowly coming in from the even from the slower the tier 2 and tier 3 towns.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much, Siddharth. It's been wonderful, speaking to you, and I'm sure the audience have gone a lot of awareness and a lot of insights from this conversation. Especially, they have making note. They have made notes about keeping a human in the loop while making higher stakes. Um, I am sure we'll continue to have such similar interesting conversation going forward. And it was a pleasure having you. Thank you so much.
Same here, same here. Thanks so much, Aradhika.
Thank you, Siddharth, for the dynamic and forward looking session. Your deep dive into how AI is revolutionizing trading platforms, enabling smarter, real time decision making was incredibly insightful. It's exciting to see how trading platforms are leveraging AI and machine learning to enable real time decision making, helping investors act fast, smarter, and with great confidence. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the close of day two of the Elevate AI, I want to take a moment to reflect on what an incredible journey today has been. From exploring the evolving role of CIOs in AI driven enterprise to witnessing how AI is transforming trading, healthcare, manufacturing, and wealth management, we have truly covered a spectrum of transformative insights. On behalf of Express Computer, I extend my deepest gratitude to all our distinguished speakers. Your thought leadership and real world perspectives have made this forum richer and more actionable. A special thank to you as well, to all our sponsors whose unwavering support is helping advance India's AI ecosystem and making gatherings like this possible. And of course, my heartfelt thanks to each one of you, our esteemed participants. Your active engagement, whether through your attendance, your questions, or your participation in our networking lounges, has added great energy and value to the summit. So until then, I wish you a pleasant evening. Please do continue the conversations in our networking spaces, visit our partner booth, and reflect on today's insights. Thank you once again for being a vital part of this Elevate AI. We'll see you in our future events. Till then, take care and keep transforming.